Let's begin by understanding what autocracy really means. In an autocratic system, power is concentrated in the hands of a single leader or a small group. Decisions are made from the top down, often without input from others. This structure can sometimes bring efficiency, but it also carries significant risks. When one person or a select few hold all the power, checks and balances are weakened, and the potential for abuse increases. Recognizing these characteristics is the first step in navigating the autocratic trap. As we move forward, we'll explore why such systems emerge and how they can impact societies and organizations. Autocratic systems don't appear out of nowhere. They often arise in times of crisis when people seek strong leadership to restore order or solve pressing problems. Sometimes historical or cultural factors make societies more susceptible to centralized power. Economic instability, social unrest, or external threats can all push people to accept or even support autocratic rule. Understanding these roots helps us see why autocracy can seem appealing, even when it carries long-term dangers. Next, we'll look at the warning signs that indicate a shift toward autocracy. Spotting the warning signs of autocracy is crucial. These signs include the erosion of independent institutions, attacks on the free press, and the silencing of dissent. Leaders may use fear or propaganda to justify their actions, claiming they are necessary for stability or security. When laws are changed to extend terms or limit opposition, it's a clear red flag. By staying alert to these developments, individuals and organizations can better prepare to respond. In the next scene, we'll discuss how autocratic leaders consolidate their power. Autocratic leaders often move quickly to consolidate their power. They may appoint loyalists to key positions, rewrite rules, or weaken checks and balances. Control over the military, police, and judiciary becomes a priority. By centralizing authority, they reduce the chances of opposition and make it harder for others to challenge their rule. This process can happen gradually or suddenly, but the result is the same: less accountability and more risk of abuse. Next, we'll examine the impact of autocracy on society. Autocratic systems can deeply affect society. While some may initially welcome the promise of order, over time, the lack of freedom and accountability takes a toll. Innovation and creativity often suffer when people fear punishment for speaking out. Social trust declines as citizens become wary of surveillance and repression. The gap between leaders and the public widens, making it harder to address real problems. In our next scene, we'll look at how organizations can fall into similar traps. Autocratic tendencies aren't limited to governments. Organizations too can fall into the autocratic trap. When leaders make all the decisions and discourage feedback, employees may feel powerless and disengaged. This can lead to high turnover, low morale, and missed opportunities for growth. Recognizing these patterns early is key to building healthier workplaces. Up next, we'll discuss the importance of checks and balances in any system. Checks and balances are essential for preventing the abuse of power. In both governments and organizations, these mechanisms ensure that no single person or group can dominate unchecked. Independent oversight, transparent processes, and open communication all play a role. When these safeguards are weakened or removed, the risk of falling into the autocratic trap increases. In the following scene, we'll explore how transparency can help. Transparency is a powerful tool against autocracy. When decisions and actions are open to scrutiny, it becomes much harder for leaders to abuse their power. Transparency builds trust, encourages accountability, and empowers people to speak up when something isn't right. Whether in government or business, fostering a culture of openness is a key defense. Next, we'll look at the importance of independent media. Free and independent media is vital in holding power to account. Journalists investigate, report, and inform the public about what's really happening. When media is controlled or censored, it becomes easier for autocratic leaders to hide their actions and manipulate the narrative. Supporting independent journalism helps keep leaders honest and societies informed. In the next scene, we'll discuss the role of civil society. Civil society organizations such as advocacy groups and nonprofits play a crucial role in defending democracy and human rights. They provide a voice for those who might otherwise be ignored and help mobilize citizens to demand accountability. When civil society is strong, it's harder for autocratic leaders to silence opposition or erode freedoms. Up next, we'll explore how education can help resist autocracy. Education empowers people to think critically and question authority. When citizens are well informed, they are less likely to be swayed by propaganda or fear tactics. Education also fosters a sense of civic responsibility, encouraging people to participate in public life and hold leaders accountable. By investing in education, societies can build resilience against autocratic tendencies. Next, we'll discuss the importance of rule of law. Rule of law means that everyone, including leaders, must follow the same rules. It's a cornerstone of democracy and a major barrier to autocracy. When laws are applied fairly and consistently, it's much harder for leaders to act above the law. Strong legal institutions and independent courts are essential for upholding these principles. In the next scene, we'll look at the dangers of unchecked power. Checked power can lead to corruption, abuse, and widespread suffering. Without accountability, leaders may prioritize their own interests over the public good. History is full of examples where unchecked authority resulted in economic collapse, human rights violations, and even violence. Recognizing these dangers is vital for building systems that protect against them. Next, we'll explore how to foster a culture of accountability. Accountability means that leaders are answerable for their actions. This can be achieved through regular audits, transparent reporting, and open forums for feedback. When people know they will be held responsible, they are more likely to act ethically. Building a culture of accountability requires effort from everyone, not just those at the top. In our next scene, we'll discuss the value of participation. Participation is the lifeblood of healthy systems. When people are encouraged to share their ideas and concerns, better decisions are made. Participation also helps build trust and a sense of ownership. In autocratic systems, participation is often discouraged, leading to resentment and disengagement. By fostering inclusive environments, we can guard against the autocratic trap. Next, we'll look at the importance of adaptability. Adaptability allows systems to respond to change and new challenges. Autocratic systems often resist change, fearing loss of control. However, flexibility is essential for long-term success. Encouraging innovation and learning from mistakes helps organizations and societies thrive. In the next scene, we'll discuss the role of technology in both enabling and resisting autocracy. Technology can be a tool for both freedom and control. On one hand, it enables communication, transparency, and organization. On the other, it can be used for surveillance and censorship. The way technology is used depends on the values of those in power. Promoting digital literacy and privacy protections helps ensure technology supports rather than undermines democracy. Next, we'll look at the importance of alliances and networks. Building alliances and networks strengthens resistance to autocracy. By working together, individuals and organizations can share resources, knowledge, and support. International cooperation also helps hold autocratic leaders accountable. Strong networks make it harder for any one group to dominate. In the next scene, we'll discuss the importance of resilience. Resilience means bouncing back from setbacks and adapting to adversity. Societies and organizations that are resilient can withstand attempts to undermine their values. This requires strong institutions, engaged citizens, and a commitment to core principles. By building resilience, we can better navigate the challenges of the autocratic trap. Next, we'll look at how to recognize and avoid common pitfalls. Avoiding the autocratic trap requires vigilance and self-awareness. It's easy to slip into patterns of control, especially under stress. Regular reflection, open dialogue, and a willingness to change course are essential. By learning from past mistakes and staying true to democratic values, we can avoid common pitfalls. In our final scene, we'll summarize the key lessons for navigating the autocratic trap. Navigating the autocratic trap is a continuous process. It requires understanding the risks, recognizing warning signs, and building strong systems of accountability and participation. By fostering transparency, supporting independent media, and investing in education, we can create resilient societies and organizations. Remember, the best defense against autocracy is an engaged, informed, and empowered community. Thank you for joining us on this journey to understand and navigate the autocratic trap.